I'm Katie Miller at the Missoula County Courthouse, where homicide defendant Jonathan Birch was ordered to undergo a mental fitness evaluation.
Plus, water woes. Some residents north of Helena are boiling over in anger after losing access to their water. And later, staying bear aware. It's as important as ever with hunting season opening and the great outdoors calling.
From Montana's news leader, this is the MTN 10 o'clock news.
Thanks for making MTN part of your night. I'm Tim McGonigal. Keely Van Mittendorp is off this evening. First at 10, an Amber Alert issued for 2 Great Falls children earlier tonight has been canceled. 8-year-old Ezekiel Gonzalez and 7-year-old Savannah Gonzalez were taken from their school today by their non-custodial mother, Isabella Martinez, along with Davin Dahl. Around 7 o'clock tonight, they were located safely near Vaughn, where Martinez and Dahl were apprehended. Great Falls Police thanked the public and officers from the Cascade County Sheriff's Office for their cooperation. Great Falls Police expect to have more information tomorrow on charges to be filed on Martinez and Dahl. The 30-year-old Dahl was charged in 2018 with sexual assault of a child. Well, the man accused of shooting 4 people, including a Montana Highway Patrol trooper in March 2019, will undergo a mental health evaluation. As MTN's Katie Miller reports, after recently pleading guilty, Jonathan Birch's father now says his son has autism and didn't understand what was going on in court that day.
On Monday, Missoula County District Court Judge Shane Venata ordered Jonathan Birch, the man accused of shooting 4 people, killing 2 last March, to undergo a mental fitness evaluation.
I am mindful that the community, victims, law enforcement have been waiting a long time for some resolution.
Birch pleaded guilty in June to 1 count of deliberate homicide and 3 counts of attempted deliberate homicide. Birch is charged with killing Shelley Hayes and Julie Blanchard. He also allegedly shot and critically injured Montana Highway Patrol Trooper Wade Palmer and Casey Blanchard in the March 2019 shootings in Missoula and Evero. Court documents say he later sent a letter to court stating he didn't understand what he was saying yes to during the court thing and didn't understand what was going on. His father alleged in court that he suffers a mental disability alleged to be a neurological condition and autism, and that his lawyers did not fully explain the proceedings or change of plea hearing, according to documents. On Monday, Venata also said he did not want to be hasty or cause any unnecessary delays in sentencing. A hearing for November 19th was set to discuss the results of this evaluation. In Missoula, Katie Miller, MTN News.
The prosecution and defense said in court today they will work together to find a private mental evaluation expert to expedite the process. A Lewis and Clark County Justice of the Peace set bond at $400,000 for the man accused of killing John Mike Kreitz. 66-year-old Leon Michael Ford appeared in Justice Court this afternoon. Ford is charged with deliberate homicide and tampering with evidence. Kreitz went missing in June 2011. In October of 2011, his remains were discovered in plastic bags on McDonald Pass. An autopsy showed Kreitz, who was 48 at the time of his disappearance, died from 2 gunshot wounds. Kreitz lived on a property along Turk Road, northwest of Helena. Ford owned property adjacent to Kreitz. Court documents say there had been years of disputes between the 2 men over access to that land. If Ford posts bond, he will also have to sign an extradition waiver and turn over his passport prior to being released. Well, North Star subdivision residents near Helena say they're beyond frustrated after their water was abruptly turned off Sunday evening. Residents were informed about the emergency disruption Sunday night at 7:30 and told that their water would be turned off from 11 p.m. until 6 a.m. until further notice. However, multiple residents MTN spoke with said their water was turned off as early as 9:30 that night. North Star Water and Sewer said in an email to residents the disruption is the result of the current inability of the North Star wells to refill the water retention tanks during the evening hours. The subdivision had been under restrictions for lawn watering. Residents told MTN they were concerned for the elderly and parents with young children not having water and what the long-term implications will be. The county and DEQ are also looking into the matter.
The bigger concern is the big picture. I mean, just what the heck's going on over there, and the inconveniences of it we'll work through. But it's a really serious situation.
The water shutoff comes about 2 weeks after the Public Service Commission denied a request by the utility to increase water and sewer rates to more than $200 each month for each household, and actually ordered rates for residents to be lowered by about $15 a month. One resident told us the PSC will be holding an emergency meeting tomorrow at 3 p.m. to discuss the current water situation. Well, it's only Monday, but a lot of folks are probably already thinking about being out on the water for the upcoming holiday weekend. If you're going to be on the water, make sure you're safe. 2 people have drowned on local waterways in the past week while boating. The latest was on Thursday. According to the Cascade County Sheriff's Office, the man was not wearing a life jacket.
Number one, top of the list always, is to wear a life jacket. And the key word there is to wear the life jacket. It doesn't do any good if it's not on your body when something happens.
And officials also say think before you hit the water and make sure what you're going to be floating or boating in can handle the water that you'll be in. From safety on the water to safety on land, be on the lookout for bears. Wildlife officials are emphasizing the importance of being prepared for a bear encounter. Upland bird season starts tomorrow, while archery season begins Friday, meaning many people will be out in wooded areas where bears could be. And officials say bear spray is a must.
Just have in your mind what's going to happen if I were to run into a bear here. And for the hunters who actually are successful and harvest an animal, they have to have a plan sort of in advance. How are you going to get that meat out if you can't do it in one trip?
And for more information about bear encounters, you can click on the link to this story on our websites. Even though today was fall-like for many of us across the Treasure State, summer temperatures are moving back in. Meteorologist Grant Garland joins us now to tell us more. Grant?
That's right, Tim. Good evening. Good evening, everyone. We are looking at fall-like weather, at least for yesterday and today, but that's quickly changing. Temperatures so far we looked at 68-degree temperatures in Great Falls, 65 in Helena, as well as out towards Lewistown. These are temperatures we typically see the third week of September. We are looking at, though, tomorrow warming up to 84 degrees in the Electric City and 80 in both Helena and Glasgow, 83 in Havre. Currently, though, we are in the chilly spot, in my opinion. 53 degrees in Great Falls, 54 in Helena, 50 in Lewistown, and 55 in Havre. With our winds at 15 miles an hour, that is creating some kind of wind chill out there for some of us. 15, though, miles an hour in Great Falls, 20 in Cutbank, and 8 in Glasgow. Over the last 3 hours, we have been looking at clouds making their way down from Canada into Cutbank and Havre, but we should stay mostly clear. Tonight, 49 degrees in Great Falls, 46 in Helena, and 47 in Hayes. And as we head throughout the door tomorrow morning, gusts are going to be at 25 miles an hour for us here in Great Falls with 54-degree temperatures. We will be warming up, and our winds will also be stronger tomorrow. And we're going to talk all about that and more in a few minutes. But for now, back to you.
For the first time in months, a small group of Helena Public School students returned to classrooms today. At Helena High School, just under 150 incoming freshmen arrived on campus. It's part of Helena Public Schools' rolling start. On Monday, high schools brought in half their new freshman class with masks required, distancing, and assigned seating. New traffic patterns and lunches brought to their classrooms. Still, leaders said the changes didn't dampen the enthusiasm for a new school year.
Very different opening, but man, it was sure good to hear some kids laughing today and to hear the chatter in the hallways and things like that.
Well, just being back in the classroom and just seeing kids. I think just having, even though we can't really see them, just being able to interact with them, not over the computer.
And middle schools welcomed half of their 6th graders. The other half will come in on Tuesday. Starting Thursday, the other grades will be returning to their classes. Montana Housing has changed guidelines for the Emergency Housing Assistance Program to increase eligibility. The changes include reducing the household contribution calculation from 30% to 25% of net income, eliminating the $10,000 in readily available assets limit in checking and savings accounts, and implementing a $250 per month minimum award. According to a release, the changes were prompted by several factors, including reduced federal unemployment assistance and students returning to school. So far, nearly $2.5 million has been awarded through the program, helping more than 800 people. The program can provide rent, security deposit, and mortgage payment assistance for Montanans who have lost a job or substantial income as a result of COVID-19. Well, tonight, an update from the CDC. Officials saying those with underlying medical conditions are at a much greater risk of dying from COVID-19. The CDC estimates 94% of all COVID-related deaths in the nation were among those with underlying medical conditions and diseases. Officials say in 6% of those deaths, COVID-19 was the only cause mentioned. The most common underlying conditions were influenza and pneumonia, respiratory failure, hypertensive disease, diabetes, cardiac arrest, and heart failure. On the national front, President Trump will go to Kenosha, Wisconsin tomorrow, despite local leaders' fears that the visit may increase tensions in the city where Jacob Blake was shot last week. CBS's Deborah Alfarone reports from Washington.
As protests continue in cities like Portland, Oregon, and Kenosha, Wisconsin, President Trump is making it clear which side he's on.
Those on the left are the problem, and Antifa is the problem.
At a White House briefing on Monday evening, the president said Democratic leaders are allowing demonstrators to destroy their cities.
The violence is fueled by dangerous rhetoric from far-left politicians that demonize our nation and demonize our police.
The president said he's going to Kenosha to thank the law enforcement officers and National Guard members who responded to the protests that followed the Jacob Blake shooting. However, the president will not be meeting with Blake's family.
I thought it would be better not to do anything where there are lawyers involved. They wanted me to speak, but they wanted to have lawyers involved, and I thought that was inappropriate, so I didn't do that.
President Trump's comments come after his Democratic rival Joe Biden delivered a speech that accused him of spreading fear and inciting violence.
Fires are burning and we have a president who fans the flames.
At a campaign event in Pittsburgh, Biden condemned the violence in Kenosha and elsewhere.
Rioting is not protesting. Looting is not protesting. Setting fires is not protesting.
Biden also condemned the president's handling of the unrest.
This president long ago forfeited any moral leadership in this country. He can't stop the violence because for years he's fomented it.
President Trump dismissed what he called a strange speech by Biden, noting that the former vice president never mentioned Antifa. Deborah Alfarone, CBS News, Washington.
When we come back, in a pickle, there's an app for that. A Montana man is helping solve transportation problems through technology.
From Montana's news leader, you're watching the MTN 10 o'clock news.
Welcome back. There's a new app in town. In a Pickle is designed to help people submit and fulfill ride requests, especially in rural Montana communities. Shelby resident Tim Moylan turned an idea into a website, into a service to help people transport food, goods, or even themselves. He says his experiences in small rural communities in Montana sparked the idea. The service allows people to post their needs for transport assistance, maybe a ride to the airport or a certain piece of equipment from a store in Great Falls or Helena. Anyone who happens to be traveling to that area can accept the job through the In a Pickle website.
There are two pools of people here, those who need help getting an object from point A to point B, and I call those people the requesters, and then those who are able to assist in transporting that object, and I call those people the runners.
Tim says the platform already has over 50 users, and it's now available to all communities across the state. Well, ramen fans rejoice. A new restaurant is officially opening up in Great Falls tomorrow. Hokkaido Ramen and Sushi Bar owner Johnny Dang tells MTN News that they were busy serving up fresh food during their soft opening over the weekend. The restaurant was originally set to open in January and then in March, but Dang says the pandemic and remodeling pushed opening dates back. He tells MTN News that he's happy to officially open this week and is ready to safely satisfy appetites.
We're taking care of them. We're responsible for Great Falls people. That's the only reason why we came here, to help the Great Falls people.
Hokkaido Ramen and Sushi Bar officially opens tomorrow. The restaurant also has online ordering and takeout options, and we have more details on our websites.
Well, we're going to be looking at a windy morning for some in Helena, possibly looking at gusts up to 20 miles an hour. Don't go away. We'll be back right after this break.
Takes Tracker Weather starts now with Grant Garland.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope that you have had a pleasant Monday evening and ready to tackle on Tuesday. Our temperatures today, well, they were fall-like temperatures, what we typically see on the third week of September. 68 degrees in Great Falls, 65 in Helena, around 65 in Lewistown. Out towards the east, we got a little bit warmer, 77 degrees in Glasgow and 72 in Havre. Now, the average for this time of year is right around 77 degrees. The record being set back in 1940 when it was 98, also the year that Al Pacino was born. He's given us some interesting movies, I'll say that. 52 degrees right now in Cut Bank, 53 in Great Falls, 54 in Helena, 50 in Lewistown, and out towards Jordan, still looking at almost 60-degree temperatures. Now, even though our winds really aren't kicking right now, they were earlier. 25 miles an hour here in the Electric City, 28 down towards the capital, 33 in Cut Bank, and we'll continue to see these numbers, if not even greater, tomorrow as well as on Wednesday. Overall, clouds have been pushing down in from Canada, only making their way through the highline right now, and we should be looking at a relatively calm, clear night. To possibly mostly clear night for those along the highline. Tomorrow we are looking at a chance for a red flag warning that's in place at noon, and that will be lifted around the Great Falls area by 6 p.m. on Wednesday. And those right around Glasgow, that fire weather warning will be lifted 6 hours later around midnight on Thursday. We are looking at the possibility for an elevated risk for fire weather really all along the highline, including Great Falls, Lewistown, Miles City, and that's due to just how dry we are going to be, as well as how windy we're going to be too, and our temperatures are going to be warm as well. Overall, we are expecting 20 to 30 mile per hour wind gusts at a given time. Some of us even seeing 30 to 40 mile per hour winds gusting. So heads up, tomorrow will be definitely a breezy day. And this is all thanks to a high pressure that's going to kind of move off towards the west, at least for the first part of the morning, allowing for our flow to come out of the southwest and west. Cold front drops in right around this time tomorrow. As it does so, though, high pressure kind of scoots on back and pushes that cold front back a little bit. But then Wednesday, as we go throughout the day, the cold front does swing through the Electric City, and our temperatures will reflect that on Thursday. Now, September is tomorrow, and our temperatures are going to start taking a dive. We're going to be looking at between tomorrow and the last day of September. The average difference we typically see is right around 12 degrees, so heads up, we are looking at starting to bring out those sweaters at the end of September. Temperatures on Thursday, 79 degrees before we warm back up to 89, but then quickly drop back down to 72 on Sunday. And as far as what we're expecting after that week, so our next week out, 2 weeks out, we are possibly looking at still staying below the average for this time of year in terms of temperatures, and we are expecting to stay drier than we typically see for this time of year as well. You can always stay weather aware by following me at meteorologist Grant Garland on Facebook and downloading that free KRTV KXLH app. Tonight, temperatures 49 degrees in Great Falls, 45 in in Helena, 47 in Hayes. It's going to be in the upper 40s for Montana, so oh well, you know, you can't get everything right all the time. We are expecting temperatures tomorrow, 84 degrees, windy day continuing for us on Wednesday. Thursday, well, winds die down, and that's going to be the nice thing. Sunny skies from Thursday through Saturday. Then we start to look at a chance for showers on Sunday and as well as on Labor Day. And also, we're going to be looking at temperatures for Helena, really to be kind of like this. Tim?
Thanks, Grant. From social distance to the line of scrimmage, MTN's Game Changers in its original form is back, and it's coming up next.
From Montana's news leader, you're watching the MTN 10 o'clock news.
Well, what if you could promote change in just a few simple steps? That's the goal of this year's virtual Under the Big Sky Buddy Walk, an awareness walk in which participants can literally step out in support of those with Down syndrome. Although the walk has typically been a group event, this year participants will show their support individually as they walk 1/4 mile each week during the month of September. Participants are encouraged to post pictures of themselves walking to create a sense of togetherness while walking on their own. And the advantage of this year's walk taking place remotely is that anyone, anywhere can participate.
Because it is virtual, I think we can generate participation all over the nation. I have a friend in Florida who's interested, and family in Arizona and in California who all want to walk on behalf of our son. So we encourage anyone everywhere to walk.
In order to fund next year's walk, event coordinators are asking participants to purchase walk shirts for $15, and you can head to our website for more details on shirt orders. High school football returned over the weekend, and though it's only week one, it was clear that athletes were excited to be back on the field. Tom Wiley counts down the top 5 plays of the weekend in our MTN Game Changers.
The majority of high school athletes haven't seen action since March when the COVID-19 pandemic shut down the state basketball tournament. So it's been a long off season, but it didn't take long to shake off the rust. We saw some incredible performances in week 1 of the high school football season. Now, Cece is enjoying her retirement from broadcasting by taking up a couple new sports: tunnel crawling and making animal noises.
What's a sheep say? What's a cow say?
We'll jump to number 5, Hamilton and Dillon. Bronx down a score. Wyatt Hayes to Brandon Finley. He steals it from the defense, but Hamilton would come up short, 20-13. At number 4, Big Sandy, one of the favorites in 6-man this year, hosting Valier. Cody Strutz in his first year at quarterback, running with power, speed, and poise, making tacklers miss with the shifty moves on the way to a touchdown on a 47-6 season-opening win. At number 3, Belt hosting Absorki. Huskies are a big play threat every time they have the ball. Aiden McDaniel scrambling, throwing off his back foot. Hunter Vogel on the other end leaps up for the grab and streaks for a touchdown, and Belt wins big, 46-8. At number 2, Geraldine Highwood at Centerville. First play from scrimmage for the rivals. Ian Moline, spin move, stiff arm. No one can stop him on the way to a score, and the rivals never look back. They win 66-27. And at number 1, this touchdown doesn't count in the stat book, but it's meaningful nonetheless. The MSU Northern Lights took the field during the ribbon-cutting ceremony for their new stadium. Brendan Medina hitting Marvin Williams for the score here, and the game ball goes to longtime supporter and Highline football legend Mike Tillman, the guest of honor at the event, and the reason Northern football exists in the first place. Folks, we still take submissions for Game Changers, so if you see something you think we should see, send an email to sports@krtv.com. Welcome back, football. Reporting in Great Falls, Tom Wiley, MTN Sports.
All right, don't go away. We'll be right back.
Well, as we head throughout the work week, we will see temperatures kind of going back and forth between the 70s and 80s. Sunny skies Thursday through Saturday, only looking at an isolated chance for showers on Labor Day. And that's really the same situation for Helena, too. 84 degrees on Wednesday. We will have to deal with a few windy days, though, tomorrow and on Wednesday.
Well, it's a proud day for the Berlin Zoo Panda family. Twins Pitt and Polly have turned 1, and like all birthday celebrations, it's all about the cake. Too much sugar is no good thing, even for panda babies, so their cake is in the shape of a 1. It's an ice treat with beetroot and sweet potato to sweeten things up naturally. 1 year on, and the Cubs have made excellent progress. They now weigh a combined total of about 62 pounds. So happy birthday to those guys. Love pandas.
Yeah, that's actually my favorite animal, a panda bear.
Just makes you smile. All right.
Yeah.
That's all the time we have. We hope you have a great night. See you tomorrow.